change drivers as the case may be. Red lights on, red lights go out. Now it's a good start from Nigel H from pole position. Martin Addison is a little bit slower away, so Jonathan Bevan takes the opportunity to try and draw himself alongside. The door closes, they head through Paddock Hill Bend for the first time. Nigel Ainge leads the race. Martin Addison in second place. I'm keeping my eye further back, so it will look rather tight further back, but they're all safely through Paddock Hill Bend for the first time. Martin Addison hanging on to second position. It's Jonathan Bevan in third place, and that looks like it's Richard Wheeler that's there in fourth position, but coming under attack from the car that sits directly behind him. Richard Wheeler now trying to attack Jonathan Bevan. Actually, he looks to have the move covered off. Potentially the door is still open though. Richard Wheeler at the wheel of the Fiesta is able to squeeze his way through and grab the place away. So that's a position gain there for Richard Wheeler. Big sideways moment over Nigel Ainge, the race leader, coming out of clearways right from the MSV building, slid from the outside of the road to the inside of the road, right across the bows of Martin Addison, and eventually has gathered up the Honda. He will rejoin, but he's gone from first, and I think by the time he gets his way back onto the tarmac, is he going to be in last place? No, penultimate position by the look of things. So by the time he gets up to speed, I think he will just avoid slipping to the very tail of the pack. That has left himself and Danny Cassar a load of work to do. There's also a spin now at Paddock Hill Bend, I think, for Jonathan D in the wheel of his Honda Integra DC2 that's had a rotation at Paddock Hill Bend and has disappeared onto the grass on the exit of the corner, but on the inside, out of harm's way. So Martin Addison leads the race at this stage. Richard Wheeler is there in second position, and third at the moment is going to be Dave Banks at the wheel of the 172 Clio, the green car, but with the white flash down the centre of it. Nice metallic green, that car. Sitting there in third place, they've gapped Jonathan Bevan, who shares with Brabtac specialist Rob Burley, who is scheduled to take over that car for part two of the race. Nose to tail for the lead of the race. Martin Addison having to stick his elbows out at the wheel of the Peugeot to try and hang on to the lead of the race. Richard Wheeler getting ever closer to him, brakes as late as he can, almost draws himself alongside, but on the outside line heading up towards Druids, but has to drop back behind by the time they exit the corner. Is he going to be braver on the brakes heading in towards Graham Hill Bend? No, Richard Wheeler probably outbrakes himself very slightly there, actually. Falls away from the Peugeot and a little more into the clutches of Dave Banks at the wheel of the third place Renault Clio. 3 for the lead. Jonathan Bevan still there in fourth place. It's Steve Simpson, number 1, there in fifth position, sharing the car with his father Colin Simpson, and then completing the top 6 at the moment, it's the yellow and green Rob Jarman Renault Clio, number 3, that completes the top 6 currently. Leaders over the start finish line. Richard Wheeler under attack here. He's looking to try and take the lead of the race. Not long ago, well, now he's in danger of losing second place if Dave Banks can work out his magic here. He's trying hard. He's closing on the Ford Fiesta. He's almost got the inside line and is going to go through, up the inside of the Ford Fiesta on the brakes up towards Druids Corner. Dave Banks now from 7th on the grid up into second position. Richard Wheeler from 5th on the grid was in second, drops back down into third. Pick up on the class leaders very shortly. We've already got one in the pit lane, and that looks as though it's a car that started towards the sharp end of the grid. Car number 49, David Hutchins, in the pit lane 6 minutes before the window opens. So unscheduled pit stop for the Honda. The door is closed, conversations have been going on, and the Honda is heading back down the pit lane. I do fear, looking at, again, the way the car is moving rather slowly down the pit lane, that is heading to the outer paddock and retirement rather than rejoining the race. Already we're getting into the traffic, unbelievably, and it looks as though the traffic is going to be dealt with. It's going to be Miles Mosley at the wheel of his Citroen C2, who is not really getting out of the way of the cars that are trying to thread their way through and pass. That really has played into the hands of Martin Addison, who's opened up quite a nice advantage now. And for Dave Banks and Richard Wheeler, they were really compromised by the slower Citroen. They met it at the wrong part of the circuit, but it wasn't helped by the fact that Miles Mosley didn't really move out of the way and allow them through. Let's have a quick look now. He moves neatly out of the way for Jonathan Bevan. The blue flag's waving up there, so I think he's now aware the traffic is bearing down on him. Last time through, Dave Banks popped in the fastest lap of the race we've had, a 55.010, but he's now fallen away. He was just 0.9 of a second behind Martin Addison, the race leader. He is now 1.7 seconds adrift of him as a result of the traffic. Now remember, Martin Addison leads the race, but he's got a 60-second success penalty to serve come the pit stop window. So he needs to, in theory, be the best part of a lap ahead of everybody if he wants to come back out after that penalty and still hang on to the lead of the race, and that's simply not going to be possible. So he's going to have a busy old race, working his way back through the order. Dave Banks makes a very small mistake in second place, coming out of Graham Hill Bend, and instantly Richard Wheeler is there to pounce and squeeze his way through. So place gained again for Richard Wheeler. The Ford Fiesta is now back up into second place. The number 53 car back down to third. Goes 172 Dave Banks, and he's going to have to try and do it all over again. More cars to deal with. Robert Elmer's BMW 3 Series Compact is the next of the car that's already been dealt with, the next of the slower traffic. And now there's clear track again for the lead three as they head through Paddock Hill Bend. It's still Jonathan Bevan in fourth place, and number 44 Honda in fourth place. We've still got Stephen Hunter in fifth place, Stephen Simpson rather, in fifth position. Sixth place is where we see the car of Rob Jarman. Seventh at the moment is number 22 that sits there in seventh place. That's Sean Ely. He's come up from 17th on the grid. Not a bad first few laps from him, and actually that puts him into the lead of Class F, I think, at this stage. Eighth place is going to be Mark Alexander Williams. Ninth place is Cam Tunio, car number 5. And Blair Roebuck is less than half a second off him in 10th place. Those two fighting over first and second in Class E. So there are some inter-class battles we need to try and keep an eye on as well, as and when the race sort of settles down a bit more, because it's all rather manic, isn't it, at the moment. Over the start-finish line goes Martin Addison, the race leader. New fastest lap of the race for him that time through. 54.813 stretches the lead gap to 2 seconds now between himself and Richard Wheeler, who also posted his best individual lap of the race as well. So it's not as though Richard Wheeler is hanging around, but he just can't at the moment live with the pace of Martin Addison, who is driving as hard as he possibly can, because he knows he's got to overcome that 60-second penalty in the pit lane, because Martin Addison won the race at Silverstone in May, handing him a 30-second penalty, and then in the second of the two Tin Tops races, Co-World Sport Tin Tops races at Anglesey in the north of Wales, he secured another victory there. A couple more cars heading towards the pit lane, 3 of them heading towards the pit lane, and all of this before the pit window opens again as well. So 32 minutes of the race to go. Into the pit lane comes car number 31, Lee Webster. Into the pit lane comes the number 99 car, David Roberts. And also into the pit lane, I think, came number 58, Miles Mosley. But all of this before the pit window opens. So 3 of them have either got drive-through penalties or stop-go penalties, or have got some sort of issue. We'll wait and see. Start and finish line goes one little battle up towards Paddock Hill Bend. At the front end of that is Manjo Patel. That's the number 112 car, the silver Honda with the blue flashes down the side of it. But he's got cars queuing up behind him. The next of the cars that's right behind him, looking to try and work his way through, is the light green and black similar Honda of Alfie Jones. Alfie Jones is under pressure from Richard Field at the wheel of the Proton. The Proton's got the Puma behind it as well, which is Adrian Matthews. That's a good little fight, actually, heading onto the Cooper Straight, whilst our race leader is heading up towards Paddock Hill Bend, and again has got traffic to deal with. Richard Wheeler has now got 1.7 seconds between himself and Martin Addison, but Martin Addison has got the traffic to deal with on this lap. Past the Renault Twingo, he has already gone of Alan Walker. He's now going to work his way past one of the Ford Fiestas coming in towards the braking area for Graham Hill Bend. That's a smoky looking Twingo as well, by the look of it, of Alan Walker, who instantly pulls off the circuit, and is going to go into the gravel trap and come out the other side of the gravel trap. Right, I think he's so keen to get the car out of harm's way. He probably did more than he needed to there, but yeah, that's a rather smoky looking Twingo that is now off the circuit into the Grand Prix paddock, with steam coming from the bonnet of it. Matt?
Yeah, you said, Mark, a few cars into the pit lane there all at one time, so I'm just trying to catch up with what the problems are. By the looks of it, first off, for number 99, David Roberts, he brought that car in, saying there's possible alternator problems, so it's struggling to get it started once again. The MG, as you said, has pulled into the pit lane, but that's down towards the bottom, so I'm just going to head there now and see what the problems were for that car.
Okay, thanks, Matt. So something down there in the pit lane will bring us the updates. The pit window is about to open as well in 20 seconds' time, so let's give you a quick rundown of the top 10. Number 189, Martin Addison leads the race. race. In second place is number 53, which is Richard Wheeler. Third place is number 172, Dave Banks. Fourth place is 44, Jonathan Bevan. Fifth place is number 1, Stephen Simpson. Sixth place is 3, which is Rob Jarman. Seventh place is number 22, Sean Ely. Eighth place is 77, which is Mark Alexander Williams. Ninth place, number 5, Cantunio. And 10th place is number 2, which is Blair Roebuck. That gives you the top 10 at the moment. And we'll pick up on the class leaders once we've got to the other side of the pit stop window, because class leads are, without question, going to shuffle round, bearing in mind there are 3 cars out there that have success seconds to serve, one of which is 86 Nigel Ainge, who was leading before he spun things away. He's now back up into 19th position. We've got Martin Addison, who now leads the race, who's got 60 seconds to serve. And remember, number 18, Tom Mensley, who didn't qualify that well, Tom Mensley, and I'm not even sure made the grid by the look of things. No, I don't think he did. Was scheduled to have served 60 seconds, but I cannot see the number 18 car on the timing screens. And now we're starting to see them come in. Pit window opens. Number 22, Sean Ely, is into the pit lane. We've also got number 112, Manjo Patel, into the pit lane as well. And now we have also got, heading into the pit lane, now that's a Honda, and it is showing that some cars don't have working transponders. And I think it's number 86, maybe, is it? No, Martin Addison. Martin Addison is in. Right, okay, so race leader is in. Martin Addison heads into the pit lane. The race leader will have to serve a 60-second penalty.
Yep, so into the pit lane then does come the 189 machine of Martin Addison, and again he's chose to come to the end of the pit lane, so he'll again not have to go too far to serve that 60 second, which again will be very, very bad indeed. So looking at the Nigel Ainge Danny Cassar car, it looks okay. So looking now, have a look at the tyres there, which of course went for a bit of a bruising at the end of that first lap. Everything looks good. That car has had a very quick pit stop, so well done there to the team. Danny Cassar, who is one of the quickest, of course, in this race, should then carve his way back through the field, but that car has to serve an extra 30. Martin Addison moves slightly forward there to serve his 60 seconds, but both of them have done effectively their pit stop. They're just waiting to serve their now winner's time penalty.
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, so that's both of the Honda Integras, then the DC5 shaped Hondas that are in the pit lane. We've also now got one of the earlier DC2s coming into the pit lane as well. That's the car that had the spin earlier on in the hands of, I think it might have been Chris Olive, possibly. I misidentified the car, I think possibly as being Jonathan D, but they're both white and red, so it's a bit difficult to tell the pair of them apart when they have a spin. Now it means that Richard Wheeler, the wheel of number 53 Ford Fiesta, picks up for the moment the lead of the race. He's just going along the Cooper Straight on lap number 14 at the moment, and has the best part of a 5-second advantage actually between himself and the number 172 Renault Clio that's still for the moment in the hands of Dave Banks. That's the metallic green car with the white stripes down the centre of it. It now means that the yellow and green Clio is going to be there in third position, which is going to be the car of Rob Jarman, but he's some way adrift, I think, of everybody else. So through has gone our race leader. The second place car continuing round in the hands of Dave Banks. Through it goes now over the start-finish line onto lap number 15. Are we going to see the third place car continue round? Well, it's going to go through now. Yeah, there goes the number 3 car of Rob Jarman in third position at this stage, through and over the start-finish line. Cantunio at the wheel of the slightly older Honda, the number 5 car, is there in fourth position, and Cantunio has got not that far behind him actually, Mark Alexander Williams at the wheel of the light blue and black Citroen Saxo. Buzzer goes off at the top of pit lane, telling us that more cars are destined for the pit lane, which includes a number 34 Peugeot of Peter Parkin, and I think also number 96 in that time as well, which is Chris Olive at the wheel of his Honda Integra. And at the very top of the pit lane, we have also got number 15, I think, in as well, which is Eric Bolton at the wheel of his Ford Fiesta. So a few more diving for pit lane that time through. More buzzers going off suggests that, again, more cars are destined for the pit lane. I think Mike Holding, I might have seen just come in at the wheel of his Renault Clio. And again, yeah, Gason, the commentary box confirms that, yeah, that is the correct car. Into the pit lane he has come, leading 3, still as they were, 6 seconds separating, almost 7 seconds now separating first from second, but 12 seconds separating second from third position. And the pit lane for Matt Suckling getting ever busier by the look of things. The buzzer just continually sounding as more and more cars dive in. James Wilson is into the pit lane. We've got number 36 Alfie Jones into the pit lane. We've got the Proton of Richard Field ready to hand over to Richard Jason Field into the pit lane, and Richard Wheeler is in. So the race leader, Richard Wheeler, into the pit lane. The Ford Fiesta trundling its way down towards what the second sort of end of the pit lane where Matt Suckling is located.
I don't know, it's a head mark. It's so busy down here, as you said. The klaxon just doesn't stop in the Tinto race. There's so many cars on the grid. They're all trying to get in within that short space of time. But as you said, Richard Wheeler into the pit lane, so the number 53 car comes to a halt. Again, 2 members on that car, so it makes it a lot easier to get the driver straight back in without losing too much time. So that's brilliant stuff from Richard Wheeler's team. Engine fired up once again. It's told to go. It stalls on the way out, though. So Richard Wheeler didn't need that. It's then going to have to get a push in the fast lane, which it now fires back into life, and Wheeler is on his way. So good stuff there from them. The 2-3-4 machine also rejoins the circuit as well, and I think there's only a couple left now after all of that busyness down here in the pit lane.
It's amazing, isn't it, how quickly they all come in, and then the next minute you turn around and it's empty again. It means that car number 172, Dave Banks, now leads the race. Now remember, he was only 6 seconds behind Richard Wheeler when Richard came into the pit lane. Neither of them have any time penalties to worry about, but Richard Wheeler stalled that car when he tried to get it going again. It lost not 6 seconds, but it did lose some time, maybe 3 or 4 seconds, so it could end up being rather close by the time we get cycled through these pit stops. We've still got the pit window open for the best part of another 8.5 minutes at the moment. Number 172 leads the race, which is going to be Dave Banks. Second is number 3, which is Rob Jarman at the wheel of his Renault Clio, but 16 seconds nearly between the pair of them. And then further 7.5 seconds off that is the light blue number 77 Citroën Saxo of Mark Alexander Williams. So that gives you the top 3 at this stage. Fourth, I think, is going to be Richard Wheeler by the time he comes over the start finish line. I think actually will be there in 4th place, so he'll be the first of the cars potentially that has pitted, and will confirm all of that next time through. So the top 3 are the only 3 that are on the lead lap at the moment. But as I say, we've still got a chunk of pit stops to come from some of them. As for the number 30 car, sorry, the number 86 car that started on pole position, Nigel Ainge, and of course that spun to penultimate place, 33rd place. It had to serve a 30-second penalty, and it's now in the hands of Danny Cassar. And where is that number 86 car currently? Well, it is way down in 24th position at the moment, but Danny Cassar is the quickest car we've got out there. He's set the fastest lap of the race, the 53.583. That was a couple of laps ago. He's still lapping in the 53-second bracket, whereas the leaders are doing 55 seconds. So keep an eye towards that one, is all I will say. May well be, 2 laps off the lead at the moment, but remember, the leaders will lose a lap in reality when they come in. So Danny Cassar is not going to do anything other than drive his socks off to see what he might be able to do. The MG is in the pit lane. That's the number 78 car that heads into pit lane. He says 78, but I'm not sure it did say number 78 on it. It's gone out of the pit lane now, it's too late, it's disappeared. It's number 70, that's why I couldn't quite see the sun glinting off it. It's Stuart Emmett and Dan Ludlow, so Dan Ludlow having taken over the car. So that rejoins the race. And have we now got any of those from the sharp end coming in? Because the buzzer goes off again at pit lane entry, and that car that is coming in is one that's much, much further down through the order. As for the race leader, well, up towards the conclusion of another lap before too much longer. There's still 6 minutes of the pit window remaining open. Dave Banks, though, is coming in this time through. So race leading car, number 172, the Renault Clio of Dave Banks, coming into the pit lane to hand the car over to Ryan Convey. Yeah, just in the garage at the minute with Nigel Ainge. Nigel in the cool here. It's much better than being in the car, I imagine, because it's not as hot.
It's very hot in the car, yeah, very hot.
Not a bad stint from you in the first part of the race. What happened on that first lap?
Restriction tyres. Just there you go, that's racing.
It is a shame, because it was a great qualifying that they got the car up towards the front, but now Danny's got the work to do, but I'm sure he can crack on, can't he?
Danny's got a lot of work to do, but he is going 2 seconds a lap quicker at the moment. So, well, I don't think he'll make it today.
It's a long way to go, though. Anything can happen.
It's a long way to go, yeah. He could get there.
Good stuff. Well done, Nigel. Thank you very much for your time. Nigel Ainge, who stands in the garage and watches the progress of Danny Cassar.
Yeah, I thought it was cold rears for Nigel Ainge. Just caught out. I mean, Nigel's got so much experience, but yeah, maybe in these warm conditions he thought there was a bit more to come from the rear rears of the car that sort of broke away from him, and even though he stamped his foot on the accelerator to try in the front-wheel drive car and pull it back, it just didn't quite work. Dust at Clark Curve suggests that somebody's had a bit of an off, but there's no telltale sign of a car sitting in the gravel, so they've largely got away with it. In the meantime, we have had into the pit lane the second place car as well. We mentioned that Dave Banks was coming into hand over to Ryan Colby, but I've now seen the number 3 car of Rob Jarman come into the pit lane, I think, as well, to hand over, albeit both of them aren't showing us having into the pits on our timing screen at this stage. I'm sure I saw both of them diving into the pit lane. So we will wait and see on that one. As for Danny Cassar, we just heard from Nigel Ainge. Well, that car is still lapping quicker than anybody else that is out there at the moment, and is still in 24th position potentially. So a theory now at the moment, and that is that the timing screen has frozen, and that theory, I think, is becoming a reality, because I'm just going to hang on and wait for the number 3 car to come back over the start-finish line. Yeah, and nothing's happening. Right, so the timing screen has now frozen, so we are not getting any update as to what the times are doing. So a quick look on tsl-timing.com might at least allow me to see whether the web version is working at the moment. The clock is still ticking down, so I know there are 18 and 3/4 minutes to go. However, what it's not doing is updating. What caused me to think that was that Danny Cassar's last lap time was exactly the same last lap time as last time I told you. So we will hopefully be able to resolve that by heading on to the TSL Timing Live website and picking up the live timing that way. So the timing screen, no, it's doing exactly the same on the live version as well. Right, that doesn't really help, does it? So, no. In the absence of having lap charts, leaves me somewhat stuck for the moment. So, at the time that the cars were circulating, it was Dave Banks and Ryan Colby that were leading, but we know that that car came into the pit lane, and as it fed its way back out, I suspect the lead of the race will be back in the hands of Richard Wheeler. I'm now just looking to see exactly where the Ford is, and there it is, just heading down through Paddock Hill Bend now, Richard Wheeler, and yeah, turning his way through Paddock Hill Bend up towards Druids. He works his way, but has he been able to conduct the pit stop and get back out before David Banks gave way to Ryan Colby? At the moment, 17 laps still completed. Yeah, it's just not increasing every time we go over the start finish line. It's still just showing 17 laps, and that is all we get, unfortunately. One car that still resides in the pit lane is number 77, which is Mark Alexander Williams. So he is, I think, one of the last to serve his pit stop. He was going to have, I think, taken up the lead of the race, but he was the last of those to pit stop, and again, it's one of those cars that doesn't want to restart again, so bump start being given by the mechanic down there in the pit lane. Mark Alexander Williams at the wheel of his Class F car heads back out onto the circuit. Of course, having been running right at the sharp end, being the last to stop, he's always going to clamber up through the order, only to tumble back down through it as the race wears on. 16.5 minutes of the race still to go. And unfortunately still no update with regards to the times. It's absolutely frozen, I'm afraid, so we'll make some inquiries with timekeepers down below.